Dear students, today I will explain Elegy written in a country churchyard by Thomas Gray. In his elegy, Gray, who is a champion of the poor persons, mourns the death of rude forefathers of the villagers. Those forefathers who are lying buried in their humble graves. Now, first we read our lines. Oft did the harvest to their sickle yield, their furrow oft he stubborn glebe has broke. How jocund did they drive their team afield, how bowed the woods beneath their sturdy stroke. In the present stanza, he describes their happy domestic lives. In the present stanza, he describes their happy domestic lives and their simple occupations that they did in their lives. The poet says that simple rude forefathers were very hard workers and punctual. They used to reap their crops with the help of sickle in the proper season and plowed their hard lands with great labor. Besides this, very cheerfully did they drive their team of oxen or horses as they worked in their fields. And very vigorously did they cut down the forest trees with their axes. And it means they used to do farm work very happily. In the next stanza, Gray refers to the uselessness of wealth and power in the face of death. So, he tries to convince the proud and ambitious people of the cities not to ridicule the poor villagers for their simple but useful occupations. Now we read our lines. Let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely choice and destiny obscure, nor grandeur hear with a disdainful smile the short and simple annals of the poor. In the present stanza, Gray personifies ambition and grandeur. That is the characteristic of 18th century poetry. The first line shows that our poet wants the proud and ambitious people because he is a champion of the poor persons, not to mock at the simple and unpolished pleasures. In other words, those persons who give importance to fame and popularity should not laugh at their hard labor and simple, unpolished joys, and also humble lot, because labor of peasants was very beneficial to mankind and homely joys were of no cost. Besides this, it is not their fault that they remain hidden and obscure. In other words, they could not make themselves famous and popular. And many reasons are responsible for this. Firstly, they were very poor, and secondly, they could not get opportunity of showing their talents, of exercising their talents, as they were very poor. So, on account of these reasons, they remained hidden and obscure. So, we should not blame them for their humble lot. In the same way, high-born persons should not see them with the hatred feelings. In other words, great and high-born people should not listen to the history of poor persons' lives merely because their life has been uneventful and bare. In the next stanza, Gray speaks of the inevitability of death. He says that pomp and show, first we read our lines, the boast of heraldry, the pomp and power, and all that beauty, all that waits, all that wealth ever gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour, the paths of glory lead but to the grave. In this stanza, Gray speaks of the inevitability of death. He says that pomp and show of glorious ancestry is vain. It is futile. Death is leveler. It makes no discrimination between high and low, rich and poor. And also it does not wait anyone. Beauty and wealth are of no importance. Beauty, as you know, it diminishes slowly and slowly. In the same way, beautiful and ugly become in death. In other words, death is the natural end of all human beings. So, we should not mock at the life of poor villagers. That's enough. Thanks.